You're watching The Buck Stops Here and I'm Barkha Dutt. On the program this evening, the government-appointed interlocutors panel on Jammu and Kashmir makes some radical proposals. Will these be accepted and will they contribute to the peace process in the state? That's going to be our special focus tonight. But first, the man who many say is now almost certainly bigger than his party. That's right, we're talking about Narendra Modi, and that was the defining image today as he finally reached Mumbai, but only after he set the terms and got his party to accept. Narendra Modi insisted that he would only attend the party's national executive if RSS leader Sanjay Joshi resigned, and that's exactly what happened. In the meantime, Nitin Gadkari got a second term as BJP president. Many are asking if this is only because Narendra Modi, the all-powerful Modi, and Nitin Gadkari have managed to reach some sort of temporary truce, because even the other sulking BJP politician, Yediyurappa of Karnataka, is now on his way to the national executive, which had otherwise been shadowed by dissent. So many are asking if personality is now bigger than the Parivar. My colleague Rahul Srivastav is tracking that story in Mumbai. Rahul, a night or 24 hours of dramatics that the BJP could have done without began with Sanjay Joshi actually present in Mumbai, Narendra Modi present in Udaipur, ended with Modi coming to Mumbai, but only after he'd set the terms and shown who the boss really is.
But two main worries. One, all this was totally unnecessary. The BJP top leader says that perhaps almost everybody has overdone their hands and the timing was extremely poor. Sanjay Joshi had to go out because Mr. Narendra Modi wanted him out. And the condition that he will only come when Sanjay Joshi is out. So early in the morning we get a news break that Sanjay Joshi has resigned. Still Narendra Modi holds out. He says that no, hold, I'm going to Udaipur first and then I'll come to Mumbai to attend the meet. So it is 6 hours after the meet has started that he decides that he can land in Mumbai to attend the meet. And when he went inside, there was a hushed silence. There was virtually no old-time hugs. There were no great amount of cheers. There was only a sense of relief. And if the second problem with the whole issue is that if you look at the three main players in the story are either one is an RSS man and two are the RSS pets. Sanjay Joshi is an RSS man and the two are RSS pets. One regarded as a present asset, Nitin Gadkari, given a second term by the RSS, and the other is Mr. Narendra Modi, regarded as a future asset for the RSS. The worry for the top BJP leaders is that this was a tussle between three RSS players and it was impacting the BJP. This is what is not being taken very well by people like L.K. Advani and others, that why should BJP handle a crisis which largely has origins within the RSS. Lot of equations will change because of this. Narendra Modi has asserted himself. He has proved that he is perhaps bigger even than the party president. The party president has to bend backwards to ensure that he comes at a time when he is going to get a second term. Narendra Modi has also positioned himself for the future because the RSS has given a signal that even if it means that pushing RSS men out of the BJP, Narendra Modi has to be kept happy and pleased. Perhaps all these equations will be playing out in the future. Perhaps RSS is worried that a dispute between the present asset Gadkari and the future asset Modi might impact Gujarat elections. RSS is depending heavily on Gujarat elections, and perhaps that's why one can say that Gadkari and Modi are perhaps the seeming duo like Advani and Vajpayee at one time used to be.
Well, that's an interesting forecast for the future. But Rahul, briefly, if you will, there is also the dissent from within the second rung of BJP leaders, as they're now called. They're actually now the primary rung of BJP leaders, who have been unhappy with the extension given to Nitin Gadkari for a second term. Has the hatchet been, in a sense, been buried on that one, or does that continue to be a fault line?
No, Barkha, the issue of which has got settled today that the BJP now has an enabling legislation. The enabling legislation, constitutional amendment that the president can have 2 terms, not the third one, has been created today. Now it has to go to the National Council for an endorsement sometime in December when Mr. Nitin Gadkari's term gets over. But what a lot of top party sources are saying, that given the kind of decisions Gadkari has taken, one, Babu Singh Kushwaha brought into the party, he was a tainter minister in the Mayawati government, support to an independent candidate in Jharkhand, which led to a great revolt in the party, and perhaps now his tussle with Narendra Modi. There are a lot of murmurs, not just from middle-run leaders. Top leaders like L.K. Advani, Murli Manohar Joshi, Sushma Swaraj are still not on the same page. And what they are saying, Gadkari will have to deliver, and perhaps deliver in some kind of a consensual manner with all the top leaders. Otherwise, he's on a probation.
Well, Rahul, as you were speaking, I just got an SMS from a politician who shall remain unnamed, who said that in 2014, the NDA may be the Narendra dependent alliance. But the big question, of course, is whether the allies will actually come around at all. Thank you so much, Rahul Srivastava, for bringing us up to speed on the BJP National Executive on a day when Modi has flexed his muscle, attending the National Executive only after the man he wanted removed from the party executive was made to resign by no less than the RSS. All right, it's time now to shift our attention to our special focus on the buck stops here. The Jammu and Kashmir report of the interlocutors has been released officially by the Home Ministry. Remember that these recommendations are meant to push the peace process in the state forward. And the question we're really asking as we look at the different aspects of that report today is whether Jammu and Kashmir's tortured history contains within it a solution for a peaceful future. Do you have to look back, in fact, to look forward? Isn't that what Truth and Reconciliation is supposed to be all about? Before we introduce our panel this evening, some of the main proposals in this report, perhaps the one likely to attract the maximum headlines, the most radical of them all, the proposal by the interlocutors that there should be a constitutional review committee set up, a committee that is headed by an eminent person whom the interlocutors say should enjoy respect both within Jammu and Kashmir and in fact in India as a whole. This committee, the interlocutors say, should look at all the central legislations after 1952 to review whether indeed these should be kept in place or modified. This is a committee that the panel says should submit its findings within 6 months. But the interlocutors panel has really emphasized that they want the special status, the historically mandated special status of Jammu and Kashmir under Article 370 to be upheld. And all the aspects and all the instances where it's in fact been eroded should be reappraised. That's the phrase that the interlocutors panel uses. One of the examples that it proposes, the interlocutors panel that is that while there may be no going back to the times when Jammu and Kashmir had a Sadri Riyasat, the governor, the appointment of the governor of the state should be one in which the state government as well as the state opposition has a role. These are only some of the suggestions that are being made by that interlocutors panel. We're going to spend some time looking at many of these details. Another contentious proposal is the interlocutors arguing that Parliament should only make such laws for the state of Jammu and Kashmir that deal with internal or external security and crucial national economic issues. All right, so the question we're asking, is this a report that can take the peace process forward, or is it going to go the way of several other reports in the past whose recommendations have in fact languished because there could be no political consensus on them? Let's introduce our panel now. We're joined from Pune tonight by Dilip Padgaonkar. He, of course, was the chairman of that panel of interlocutors on Jammu and Kashmir. With us in the studio is also Radha Kumar, another interlocutor on Jammu and Kashmir from that panel. Joining us from Srinagar tonight, National Conference leader Mehboob Baig. With us in the Delhi studio, Dr. Sameer Kaul. He's, of course, not just a doctor, but the national spokesperson of the opposition PDP. From Mumbai tonight, taking time off from the National Executive Committee of the BJP is Seshadri Chari. The BJP, incidentally, has expressed its absolute disappointment with the findings of the report. Also joining us tonight from Srinagar is Sajad Lone of the People's Conference. And with us in the Delhi studios is also Colonel Ajay Shukla, who's a consulting strategic affairs editor with the Business Standard. Dilip Padgaonkar, if I may start with you. Something strikes me as I go through the findings of your panel of interlocutors, that we have been unable to create a consensus in Jammu and Kashmir on the Armed Forces Special Powers Act. We cannot get this government and indeed its many ministries to agree even on that. Do you really believe that something as dramatic as a constitutional review committee is a proposal that will find acceptance in the national mainstream of Indian politics?
I think if the report is seen in its totality, and if there is a serious engagement with all the stakeholders in the state, it is well nigh possible to try and evolve a consensus on certain key issues. Now, mind you, let me say right away that in our report we've stated explicitly that most of the central laws and articles of the Constitution extended to the state are perfectly valid, are for the welfare of the citizens of Jammu and Kashmir. There are 5 or 6 contentious issues, and I believe an engagement without any kind of ideological blinkers may make it possible for us to evolve the consensus. It will take time, but the engagement is to be there. It's got to be a process of dialogue, of sustained dialogue, of sincere dialogue, and our contention is that it is possible to find a middle way to take the process forward.
Do you have the NDTV Profit app? All the markets, all the news and your own homemade, ready-made portfolio available there for you.
We will right now answer what you should sell, what you should buy when markets are down.
Download it at ndtvprofit.com/apps. Get the best app from the channel you trust.